First of all, hello, how are you? Happy couple days after Christmas. Hope you had a really nice time if you celebrate Christmas. And secondly, I don't know the rights to this music, some radio's on. And finally, the purpose of this little video, I just wanted to remind everyone something that I'm relearning myself. Something I know. You know how that goes. Like, we know a lot of things, but sometimes we forget them, or our actions show as if we've forgotten them, right? That being said, lately I was finding myself very annoyed by people who did things that I thought were inconsiderate or rude, or did things that just differently than how I would do things. I mean, some of them were certainly not right or professional, let's put it that way. However, the thing that had changed is that I was allowing myself to be like mad about it instead of just being like, okay, yeah, everyone does things differently and let's move on. Okay, especially if no one was hurt or injured or, bleeding or dead, right? It is what it is. Everyone does things a little differently. So if you forget that sometimes, and sometimes I find that I notice things more when I'm not as busy, and obviously around the holidays, yeah, you're busy with things, but maybe not as busy with work as you would be, the week before the holidays or the week after the holidays type of thing, right? So some of these things were really just aggravating me, and I had to look at myself and be like, self, what's wrong with you? Calm down. Yeah, people do silly things or whatever. I mean, even as simple as people driving on the roads. Like, I noticed the other day, typically Southwest Florida, I see it a lot. One person will run a red light, right? Lately, I've been seeing 2, 3, sometimes 4 run that same red light because everybody was just, anxious. They're trying to get things done. Maybe they're stressed. All sorts of thing. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But, I just let it flow because it is what it is and I'm not going to change that person. However, for me, I've definitely, take a little breather, count to 2 instead of 1 before I go, just to double check that no one's running the red light. And the same thing with, like, recently a few people made appointments for my made a showing appointment for my listing and didn't show up on time, and I thought that was really rude, and it was very inconvenient for my seller, and I thought that it looked poorly on me as her representative, and I just didn't appreciate it. But then I thought, you know what, that's a different person, I can't control them, apologize if this has happened, but it kind of is what it is. So different things like that have been happening lately, and maybe it's the holidays, maybe it's season, maybe it's just normal. And like I said, when I'm busy or I don't notice those things as much, or if they're happening, it's just kind of like, well, I don't have time to think about that, let's move on, right? So if you're finding yourself in situations where, oh, that jerk just cut me off, or oh, this or oh, that, maybe take a step back and think about what's really going on, what's really bothering you, or do you just not maybe have enough going on at all and all the things are bothering you. So I hope this helps someone. If you have something that you're working on, go ahead and post it and let's share.